Hello, algebra. We're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about rationals. And we're going to talk about radicals when we're talking rationals. So, what do I mean by that? Well, we have some notation. So, we've been talking a lot about rules this chapter and definitions and things like that. So, the rule of b to the 1/2 power, b to the 1/2 power is the exact same thing as the square root, because there's a little itty bitty 2 there that we understand of b, okay? So the square root of b and b to the 1/2 are the same thing. Now we want to use that rule, and we want to look at 1 and 2 here. So we can rewrite anything to the 1/2 power. We could rewrite as whatever's underneath here under our radical sign. And the square root of 25 is, we learned that all the way in chapter 1. It's 5. Ooh, we don't write our answers next. We write our answers underneath. Sorry about that. Okay. What about 16 to the 1/2 power? Well, that's the same thing as the square root of 16, right? There's a little itty bitty 2 here that's understood, although we don't usually write it. The square root of 16 is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. All right, so what about 225? What's the square root of that? So again, if we apply our rule, we're just going to take the square root of 225. If you use your calculator, that's going to be 15. So this whole section's going to be very calculator driven. We're going to do number 4 in class. So let's talk a little bit about what if we have something to the cube root. So let's look at our rule. Our rule, the square root of x, or the radical of x, equals x to the 1/2. I don't know why that's down like that. So there's a little 2 here that's understood. So if that little 2's there, then what happens over here? What's this look like? Well, let's see. My base would come out of here, and my fraction is 1/2. So that's the same as this number. If that's true, then what's this exponent going to be? It's going to be 1/3. Okay, so if that goes hand in hand, then what about if I've got a little 4 there? I would have x to the what power? 1/4. And x to the 1/n. It doesn't matter what my number is here. It's going to end up in a fraction as my exponent. So, if that's true, could we evaluate this number? We could. We could do 2 ways. We could take, we know this is the cube root of 125. We could do that. Or, honestly, we could just enter this as an exponent into our calculator, which is a whole lot easier. But you need to do your fraction as a division. So 125 to the caret of, or to the root of, 1/3. And what are you going to get? You're going to get 5. So this whole lesson is calculator driven. You're going to enter this into your calculator, and you're going to go from there. So what are we going to enter into our calculator here? 1296 caret. What's my fraction going to be? In parentheses, 1 divided by 4. And what's that going to be equal to? It's going to be equal to 6. Okay? We're going to do 7 and 8 in class. What about if my fraction isn't a 1/? Can I do those? Sure, same way. 64 caret, what's my fraction? 2 divided by 3. And what's my answer? Well, if I enter that into the calculator, I'm going to get 16. What about number 10? What am I going to enter? We'll do that one in class 2. What about number 11? What am I going to enter? 27 caret 2 divided by 3. And what do we get? We get 9. We're going to try 12 in class 2. That's it. We'll see you in class. God bless.